the animals that helped ancient humans survive, and those that hunted them. Long before cities, farms, and modern technology, ancient humans lived in a world where every day was a fight for survival. They shared forests, grasslands, mountains, and rivers with countless wild animals. Some of these creatures became trusted allies, helping humans find food, protect their camps, and eventually build civilizations. Others were relentless predators, always posing a deadly threat. Every trip to gather berries, fetch water, or hunt for food could end in a dangerous encounter. Ancient humans had no guns, no vehicles, and no hospitals. Their greatest weapons were simple stone tools, fire, intelligence, and teamwork. Over thousands of years, people learned an important lesson. Not every animal was an enemy. Some could become valuable companions, while others demanded constant caution and respect. These relationships shaped the course of human history. In this video, we'll explore the remarkable animals that stood beside ancient humans in their struggle to survive, and the fearsome creatures that hunted them. Some of these stories may surprise you. Number 1. Dogs, humanity's first best friend. Of all the animals that ever lived alongside humans, none earned a place in our history quite like the dog. Scientists believe this friendship began more than 15,000 years ago, and possibly even earlier, when some wild wolves. At first, these wolves were likely attracted by leftover bones and scraps of meat. Instead of chasing them away, some human groups tolerated the less aggressive wolves because they served an unexpected purpose. Their sharp senses allowed them to detect danger long before people could. A barking wolf could warn a camp that another predator, or even a rival human group, was approaching. Over many generations, the friendliest wolves became less fearful of humans. Humans, in turn, began feeding and caring for them. Gradually, these wolves evolved into the first domesticated dogs. Dogs soon became much more than camp guards. They helped track prey during hunts, protected children, defended camps at night, and provided companionship in a harsh and uncertain world. For ancient humans, having a loyal dog often meant a better chance of survival. This extraordinary partnership became one of the most successful relationships in history. Even today, thousands of years later, dogs remain one of humanity's closest companions, a living reminder of a friendship that began in the ancient wilderness. 2. Horses, the partners that changed history. Unlike dogs, horses were not humanity's first companions. For thousands of years, ancient humans hunted wild horses for their meat and hides. But over time, people discovered something far more valuable than simply hunting them. They could work alongside them. Around 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, some ancient communities began taming horses. At first, they were likely used for carrying supplies and pulling simple carts. As people became more skilled at riding, horses completely transformed the way humans traveled. A journey that once took several days on foot could now be completed in a single day. Hunters could track fast-moving animals across vast grasslands. Messengers could carry important news over long distances, and families could move more easily in search of food and better land. Horses also changed warfare. Groups that mastered horseback riding gained a huge advantage over those who fought only on foot. Their speed, strength, and endurance made them powerful allies in both hunting and battle. Beyond transportation and warfare, horses became symbols of wealth and status in many ancient societies. Owning several healthy horses often meant a family or tribe possessed great influence and resources. Although not every ancient civilization domesticated horses at the same time, wherever they did, human life changed dramatically. The bond between humans and horses helped shape trade, exploration, and the rise of great civilizations, proving that some of humanity's greatest achievements were made with the help of these remarkable animals. 3. Cattle, goats, and sheep, the providers. While dogs offered protection and horses transformed travel, cattle, goats, and sheep helped ancient humans build stable communities. These animals provided something every family needed: food and resources that could be relied on year after year. Before domestication, people depended entirely on hunting wild animals. Success was never guaranteed. Some days hunters returned with plenty of meat, while other days they came back empty-handed. By raising animals, Ancient humans no longer had to rely only on luck. Goats were among the first animals to be domesticated. They were hardy, easy to care for, and could survive in rocky hills where other animals struggled. They supplied meat, milk, hides, and even horns that could be crafted into useful tools. Sheep became equally valuable. They protected people from cold weather, while their milk and meat provided nourishment. As humans learned to spin and weave wool into cloth, sheep became even more important to daily life. Cattle were perhaps the greatest prize of all. They produced large amounts of meat and milk, and their strong bodies could pull heavy loads or help prepare farmland. In many ancient societies, owning cattle was a sign of prosperity. These animals gave ancient humans more than food. They offered security. Families no longer had to wonder where every meal would come from. With dependable livestock, people could settle in one place, grow crops, raise children, and form villages that eventually grew into thriving civilizations. Without cattle, goats, and sheep, the transition from wandering hunter-gatherers to settled societies would have been far more difficult. These humble animals quietly laid the foundation for the world we know today. 4. Birds, nature's warning system. To ancient humans, birds were much more than creatures flying across the sky. They were nature's messengers, constantly revealing clues about the world around them. Long before weather forecasts or maps, careful observation of birds could mean the difference between life and death. Hunters paid close attention to flocks of birds because they often revealed where food could be found. Birds circling high above the ground sometimes signaled the presence of a dead animal, attracting scavengers and alerting humans to a possible source of meat or to the presence of dangerous predators nearby. The sudden silence of birds was another important warning. When birds abruptly stopped singing or flew away in panic, experienced hunters knew that something unusual was approaching. It could be a large predator, another hunting group, or some other disturbance. Those who noticed these signs often had valuable time to prepare or escape. Waterfowl such as ducks and geese also guided travelers. Their movements could lead people toward rivers, lakes, and wetlands, places that provided fresh water, fish, edible plants, and game animals. Following birds sometimes helped wandering groups survive in unfamiliar landscapes. Ancient humans also watched birds to understand the changing seasons. The arrival or departure of migrating birds signaled when colder weather was coming or when warmer months had returned. These natural signs helped people decide when to travel, hunt, or prepare for harsh conditions. Although birds were rarely thought of as close companions like dogs, they played a quiet but important role in human survival. By learning to understand their behavior, ancient people gained an extra set of eyes in the wilderness. Every call, every flight pattern, and every sudden silence could carry a message, and those who listened carefully often lived another day. As ancient humans began farming and storing grains, a new problem appeared. Large supplies of grain attracted rats and mice, which could quickly destroy months of hard work. These rodents also spread diseases and contaminated food, threatening entire communities. Wildcats soon discovered that human settlements were full of easy prey. Instead of hunting deep in the forests, they found plenty of rats and mice living around villages and food stores. By feeding on these pests, the cats accidentally helped protect the food that people depended on. Unlike many other domesticated animals, cats remained highly independent. They came and went as they pleased, hunted on their own, and asked for very little in return. Yet their contribution was enormous. A single skilled cat could keep countless rodents away from homes and grain stores, preserving precious food during difficult times. In some ancient civilizations, cats became so highly valued that they were treated with great respect. Their ability to protect harvests made them more than simple animals. They became trusted guardians of survival. Though quiet and often unnoticed, cats earned their place among humanity's most helpful companions. By doing what came naturally, they helped ancient communities thrive and grow. Number 6. Lions and big cats, the kings of fear. While some animals became trusted companions, others remained terrifying enemies. Among the most feared were lions and other big cats. Strong, fast, and equipped with razor-sharp claws and powerful jaws, these predators were more than capable of killing a human. In ancient Africa, lions often lived in the same open grasslands where early humans hunted and gathered food. This meant dangerous encounters were unavoidable. A person separated from their group, especially at dawn or dusk, could easily become a target. Leopards were even more unpredictable. Unlike lions, which often lived in prides, leopards hunted alone. They could silently stalk their prey through thick vegetation and attack with little warning. Their ability to climb trees and move almost unnoticed made them one of the most difficult predators to detect. Tigers, found across parts of Asia, posed a similar threat. Their striped coats blended perfectly with forests and tall grass, allowing them to ambush prey from only a few meters away. Ancient communities living near tiger habitats had to remain constantly alert whenever they entered the wilderness. To survive alongside these predators, ancient humans relied on teamwork. They traveled in groups, carried spears and stone weapons, and used fire to keep dangerous animals away from their camps at night. Loud noises and watchful guards also reduced the risk of surprise attacks. Despite the danger, humans gradually learned how to coexist with these powerful hunters. They respected their strength, avoided unnecessary confrontations, and developed smarter ways to protect themselves. For ancient people, lions and other big cats were living reminders that humans were not always the rulers of nature. In the wild, survival belonged to whoever was better prepared. Number 7. Hyenas, the night raiders. When darkness covered the land, ancient humans faced a different kind of danger. Among the most feared nighttime visitors were hyenas. These powerful scavengers were far more than animals that fed on leftovers. They were intelligent, bold, and capable hunters. The smell of roasting meat or animal remains often attracted hyenas to human camps. They waited patiently in the shadows, hoping to steal food while people slept or became distracted. If given the chance, they could drag away meat that had taken hunters days to obtain. Hyenas possessed one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom. Their jaws could crush large bones with ease, allowing them to eat parts of carcasses that many other predators could not. This made them incredibly difficult competitors for food. Although hyenas usually avoided large groups of people, they could become dangerous when humans were alone, injured, or vulnerable. Children and unattended camps were especially at risk. Their eerie laughter, like calls echoing through the night, reminded ancient families that danger was never far away. To protect themselves, people kept fires burning throughout the night and posted guards to watch over the camp. They stored food carefully and stayed together, knowing that teamwork discouraged most predators from attacking. Despite their frightening reputation, hyenas also played an important role in nature by cleaning up animal remains that might otherwise spread disease. But for ancient humans trying to protect their families and hard-earned food, hyenas were relentless rivals, always waiting for an opportunity. Their intelligence, persistence, and fearlessness earned them a place among the most troublesome animals early humans had to face in the wild. Number 8. Snakes, silent killers. Among all the dangers ancient humans faced, few were as unpredictable as snakes. Unlike lions or hyenas, snakes did not chase people across long distances or roar before attacking. They relied on silence, camouflage, and lightning-fast strikes. Many ancient humans walked barefoot through forests, grasslands, and rocky terrain where venomous snakes often hid beneath leaves, inside holes, or among tall grass. A single careless step could result in a painful, and sometimes deadly, bite. Without modern medicine or anti-venom, surviving a venomous snake bite depended largely on the type of snake, the amount of venom injected, and the victim's luck. Because treatment options were limited, many ancient communities developed a deep respect and fear for these reptiles. Snakes were also common around rivers, farms, and camps where they hunted rats and other small animals. While this helped control pests, it also meant humans frequently encountered them near their homes and food supplies. Over time, people learned to reduce the danger. They kept their camps clean, cleared tall grass around their shelters, used fire to discourage unwanted animals, and carefully checked rocks, logs, and sleeping areas before settling down. Experience taught them that caution was often their best defense. Because snakes appeared suddenly and disappeared just as quickly, many ancient cultures came to see them as mysterious creatures. Some feared them, while others admired their ability to shed their skin, viewing it as a symbol of renewal or transformation. Whether respected or feared, snakes remained one of the wilderness's most dangerous inhabitants. Their silent movements and deadly bites reminded ancient humans that even the smallest creatures could pose one of the greatest threats to survival. Number 9. Crocodiles, the river monsters. For ancient humans, rivers were places of life. They provided fresh drinking water, fish, fertile land for farming, and easy routes for travel. But these same rivers also hid one of the deadliest predators on Earth, the crocodile. Unlike lions or wolves, crocodiles did not need to chase their prey. They waited patiently beneath the surface, often remaining almost completely invisible. Only their eyes and nostrils could be seen above the water, making them nearly impossible to detect. When a person came to drink, collect water, wash, or cross the river, a crocodile could explode from the water with incredible speed. Its powerful jaws snapped shut in an instant, dragging its prey back into the river before anyone had time to react. Because of this constant danger, ancient humans learned to treat rivers with great caution. They rarely approached the water alone. Many communities chose safer places to collect water, while others kept watch for signs of crocodiles before entering the river. Hunters and fishermen also developed strategies to avoid attacks. They used long sticks to test the water, stayed alert, and worked together whenever possible. Experience taught them that even a calm-looking river could hide a deadly surprise. Despite their fearsome reputation, crocodiles were perfectly adapted to their environment. They had survived for millions of years, changing very little because they were already among nature's most effective predators. To ancient humans, crocodiles were a reminder that danger was not always found in forests or open plains. Sometimes it waited silently beneath the surface, where patience was the predator's greatest weapon. Anyone who underestimated these river monsters risked paying the ultimate price. And number 10. Bears, powerful rivals. Long before humans became the dominant force in many parts of the world, bears were among the most powerful animals roaming forests and mountains. Their enormous size, incredible strength, and fierce determination made them one of the most dangerous creatures ancient people could encounter. Unlike predators that hunted humans regularly, bears usually preferred to avoid people. However, when surprised, protecting their cubs, or defending food, they could become extremely aggressive. A single angry bear was capable of overpowering even several armed hunters. Bears also competed with humans for some of the same resources. Both searched for fish in rivers, gathered berries and nuts, and sometimes sheltered in caves. Archaeologists have found evidence that ancient humans and bears occasionally occupied the same caves at different times, creating dangerous confrontations. Hunting a bear required careful planning and great courage. Ancient hunters worked together, using spears, traps, and coordinated attacks to increase their chances of success. Even then, the hunt was incredibly risky, and injuries were common. Yet bears were also valuable. Their thick fur provided warmth during harsh winters, their meat fed entire families, and their bones and teeth were crafted into tools, weapons, and ornaments. Because of their immense power, many ancient cultures admired bears and saw them as symbols of strength, courage, and endurance. Rather than viewing bears as simple enemies, ancient humans understood they were powerful rivals deserving of caution and respect. Every encounter reminded people that surviving in the wilderness required not only bravery, but also wisdom. The relationship between humans and bears reflected a harsh reality of the ancient world. Survival often depended on knowing when to fight, when to retreat, and when to leave nature undisturbed. Finally, how ancient humans learned to live alongside dangerous animals. Ancient humans could never eliminate the dangers of the wild, but they learned something just as powerful: they adapted. Instead of trying to conquer every animal they encountered, they studied their behavior, respected their strengths, and developed clever ways to survive alongside them. One of their greatest discoveries was the use of fire. At night, a burning campfire provided warmth, light, and protection. Many dangerous animals, including lions, hyenas, and wolves, were less likely to approach a camp surrounded by flames and human activity. Teamwork also became one of humanity's greatest weapons. People hunted, traveled, and slept in groups because a united community was far stronger than a lone individual. While one person rested, another kept watch, ensuring that predators could not easily catch the group by surprise. As humans became more skilled, they created better tools and weapons. Stone-tipped spears, bows and arrows, traps, and stronger shelters greatly improved their chances of survival. They also learned to build camps in safer locations, avoiding areas where dangerous predators were commonly found. Perhaps most importantly, ancient humans became excellent observers of nature. They recognized animal tracks, listened to warning calls from birds, watched for signs of predators, and learned which places were safest at different times of the day. This knowledge was passed from one generation to the next, allowing each new generation to become wiser than the last. Over thousands of years, these skills helped humans spread across deserts, forests, mountains, and frozen lands. They didn't survive because they were the strongest animals on Earth. They survived because they learned, adapted, and worked together. The story of ancient humans and animals is not just about fear or friendship. It is a story of balance. Some animals became trusted companions that helped build civilization, while others challenged humans to become smarter, more cautious, and more resilient. In many ways, the animal kingdom helped shape who we are today.